Okay. All right. Oh, hi. Hey there, everyone. You can come into frame. That's all right. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. Um, Welcome to this Buyee unboxing here with the Bride of Monster Kid as well. So a lot of you guys have actually met her in chat already, but now get to see her on screen. You know, beautiful. She's want to be. My expose has been here super early. Got in the first. Rex W. Welcome, welcome. I unironically love your stereotypical Chinese. It's meant to be like a Japanese inspired track on there. Oh, yo, Ride Monster Kid. Excellent, excellent. Welcome, welcome. Expose. I am totally fine talking about obscure Miriam C. Cooper films. We'll see how obscure it gets. But welcome, everyone, because I figured, well, I can either do a video that nobody watches or a live stream nobody attends. So I decided to go with the live stream for unboxing my latest box of crap from Buyee, from Japan. So there's my address and stuff on there.
Do you need a Sharpie?
But can she do the bride yell and hiss, please? Perfect.
I don't know.
Perfection. Perfection.
I don't know what the yell is though.
Oh, that's where she, like, when she first sees the monster and screams. Yeah.
I hope that's okay.
Nice. I think that was more than sufficient. Yeah. Nice. Hey, Queen. Welcome. Welcome. Good to see the gang here. As always, y'all are awesome. Thank you so much for attending. And this time, yeah, we're unboxing my latest bunch of crap from Japan. I got via Buyee, which is, in case anybody doesn't know, hi William, is a Japanese proxy buying site. So there's my address again. Jeez, let's not do the side that has my address on it. So it's a Japanese proxy buying site. So you can buy things from like Yahoo Auctions Japan, from Mercari, from Rakuten, all sort of stuff. And basically they handle. What are you doing over there?
I'm getting rid of our address.
Yes, we don't want to be exposed to the world here.
There. Oh my gosh.
There we go. Yeah, so basically it allows you to buy from all these like Japanese auction sites and the other stores as well, like the Godzilla store and another store that I bought from this time. And they handle all of the internal shipping and everything else like that. They do package consolidation, so I bought a whole bunch of things and just got them all thrown into one box here, and then had that shipped here to Canada for a reasonable fee, and then I had to pay another $17 to pay bail to get it out of post office jail and actually get it into my hot lands. Yeah, I saw it on Monster Island Buddies. Yeah. That's where I found out about it, is from Monster Island Buddies, and took up his offer of the free $20. And he's always like, "Oh, it's free to join, Yeah, and then they get you hooked. That's how they do it. Next thing you know, you've spent like a couple $100 on stuff. Haven't told you exactly how much it cost.
I don't want to know. Don't want to know.
Where is it going to ignore the PC, SJWBS query. Some people are insulted offended by anything. I always try to ignore that stuff. For your first question, Expose says, opinion on Gal the Headhunter, aka Gal the Killer, the Cannibal Island, Miriam C. Cooper, I think, did the kind of work cinematography. I have not seen that one. I have actually, what Cooper films have I seen? I've seen excerpts of Grass. I've seen Chang, King Kong, Son of Kong, She, Who Must Be Obeyed, and Mighty Joe Young. Those are the Cooper films that I have seen. I've been meaning to see Four Feathers, but haven't got around to it, assuming that it exists and I can actually see it easily. And I've not seen Gal either. So I apologize, Expose. Your understanding of pure Cooper films is better than mine. Kaisers, hi, hello. Queen, yes it is. Japan is very interesting. Was thinking about maybe even going to Japan like this November, like sort of coincide with Godzilla Day and whatever, but we'll see if finances and family things and whatnot would make that plausible.
We'll see.
Or not. We'll see. But yes, love Japan. Love Japan, love stuff from Japan, love going to Japan, love media from Japan. Whole 9 yards. Wouldn't want to literally live there though, weirdly enough. Just because like actually this is like the first chapter in this book of Why I Hate Canadians by Will Ferguson, who's a Canadian author. And he writes about how Japan and Canada have a lot in common, but they're also like the exact opposite. Like Japanese people have a work ethic and stuff like that. So Japan's really small, Canada's really big, all sort of stuff. So yeah. Home of Godzilla, yes, absolutely. Rex says, my parents told me I need to focus more on what's going on in the modern world. So what's your opinion on Ford's announcement of the Model T? I feel like the horseless carriage is preposterous. I know, right? Like, there's nothing good can come of a horseless carriage. So, oh my god. Like, it's good not to live in a total fantasy world all the time, but it's like you're surrounded by the real world all the time anyway. So, like, escapism is good. The Tolkien-esque argument of escapism is good because it is the duty of a prisoner to escape. And so, you're trapped in the real world, so it's your duty to escape from it. And some people do that in socially acceptable ways, by sports or, well, actually, we were out hiking last week, and we've just gotten over being really sore from it.
We weren't super socially acceptable in that regards either.
No. But that's why people react so vehemently against like politics being thrown into entertainment as well, and the modern political message, that sort of thing, is because it's like, no, I do this to escape. And politics is a sad replacement for meaning and philosophical depth and depth of human experience, that sort of thing, where you're actually like examining the human condition and our relationship with each other and God and creation and whatever else, and instead you just interject politics into it. And here's who you're supposed to vote for, right? Yeah, it is what it is. But the most dangerous games. Yes, I saw that one too. Although Cooper didn't. Cooper produced that one, but he didn't direct that one. Shodesack that directed Most Dangerous Game, but I have seen that one as well. So there we go. Don't forget to learn Japanese. Konnichiwa. Last time I went to Japan was 2009, and I got through it with like 5 words. So konnichiwa, konbanwa, depending on time of day. Onegaishimasu, as like, please, I want that thing in the menu. Sumimasen, excuse me. Arigato, domo arigato gozaimasu. Sugoi, it's another good one to have.
Sugoi.
But yeah, it's like 5 words of Japanese.
What about hi?
Yes, hi as well. But we use that all the time anyways.
Or
Well, I never really used that one.
No, but other people might have.
Yeah. But so Japan's actually a really easy country to get around if you don't know Japanese, as long as you know where you're going. Because on like the train stations and everything's written in, like, at least in the major centers like Tokyo and Kyoto and stuff like that. Everything is written in kanji and romanji. Romanji is just like the Western alphabet. So as long as you know the names of the places where you're going, it's actually pretty easy to get around. Lots of, again, more populated centers, at least, you can get text in English, or English, at least. And Japanese people are so gracious and will bend over backwards to help you, even if the help isn't that helpful. They will still bend over backwards to do it. And if you go to like a museum or a heritage site or something like that, and you get the one volunteer who can speak English and they want to practice on you, then it's like you can't escape them anyways. They will latch onto you and give you like a personal guided tour of the museum and that sort of thing. So Japan is like super easy to navigate, at least in the major centers. Again, it's super easy to navigate if you don't speak Japanese. Of like Gardner's multiple intelligences, for me, language is at the bottom. It's like math and language are my bottom of the multiple intelligences, and then like interpersonal and visual spatial are my top ones. So I'm terrible at languages, and I still managed to get through Japan fine. Just did a lot of research ahead of time. Did you get a chance to see Shogun? I've not seen Shogun.
I want to see it.
I guess we're watching it sometime then.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
It has so many Emmy nominations, and the costumes are stunning.
Cool.
Sorry, the costumes, you will learn, are my... If the costumes are beautiful, I will forgive so many faults if you have done good research and good construction on those costumes, because I'm a weirdo.
No,
Welcome to the weirdos.
You just like costuming.
I like good
historical
costuming.
historical fashion. Yeah.
Good costuming, not garbage.
It's funny how Miriam C. Cooper not only made King Kong but also helped Cinerama in San Francisco. Yes, he also directed this at Cinerama. Yeah. Sadly, the modern media has been weaponized against this country. I think it's been weaponized against everyone, not just the United States as a country, but against just all humankind. Yes, you wouldn't go anywhere without horses. Also, I tried to get into politics the other night when watching the other night with the debates. My parents talked over it, and I couldn't hear anything. I want to get into politics, but I can't hear anybody. Shut up. Yeah. Roosevelt versus Taft, or something like that, right? That debate. Hope this new Ford thing won't get any more popular than the horse and the train. Yep.
We can hope.
There's formal Japanese and casual Japanese, yes. Kanji is very hard to learn, yeah. If I learned the minimum number of characters you need to know in kanji to make it intelligible, I would know more kanji than I know English. So, fun fact, Japan has more kaiju movies than Denmark.
I would hope so.
I thought Denmark was the capital of kaiju.
It's the capital of...
Yeah, at least...
well, what do you think
at least one.
mermaids are? Do they count as kaiju?
Those would be kaijin. So human-sized.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, they don't have that many kaiju.
Yeah. Or they'd be like yokai. Well, yokai are general. Like, yokai don't have necessarily a size. They can be big, they can be small. So, is Godzilla a yokai? That would be another question. I'm confident that Godzilla's a Pokemon. Absolutely, yeah.
Oh,
especially Shin Gojira, because he evolves. Shin Gojira especially is a Pokemon.
When that girl catches them in those little balls to carry them away in Goziban.
Oh, in Goziban? Yeah. Yes. When she captures them, when the Zillion captures them, they're definitely Pokemon. Yeah. There are actually two versions of Shogun. Yes, there's the one from, like, what is it, 70s? And then right at the peak of the fear of Japan as an economic powerhouse in the 80s. We're all weirdos here. Hollywood has embraced communism. Well, it's half-assed communism. Do you follow any manga? I don't follow any manga, just because I have, like, virtually no time to sit and read. Or I do, I just choose not to use it to read.
You use it to argue with people online.
Argue with people online and watch videos, watch movies, and yeah. Anyways, and then, like, manga. Here's the thing that I have a problem with manga, as it comes over here, is that, like, in Japan, manga is, like, dirt cheap. It's meant to be, like, weekly disposable entertainment. It costs a couple bucks. Whereas then it gets translated, gets brought over here, and it's in these little books that are like, the ones that I've looked at for the ones that I want to read are like $15, whatever. And it's like, I don't have the money to spend like $15-20 on 100 volume manga. Like, no.
That's why I watch them. I click through them so quickly as I read them.
Sail the high seas.
I do sail the high seas.
Sail the high seas.
I can't sing the pirate song because we
don't want to get demonetized.
We don't want to get demonetized.
After already suggesting illicit activities. Yeah, I think it was Washington versus Jefferson. Also, do you watch Deadpool and Wolverine? It was the most fun I've had in theater.
It was
since
so
year's
fun.
Godzilla Fest. Yes, did see Deadpool and Wolverine. It was fine. It was like it was the end game for, like, the Fox Marvel movies. So it's like pulling all them together into a final story and New Line with Blade in there. It. And yeah, it was fun. And Matthew McFadden, Paradox. Oh my god, that was hilarious. Like, Matthew, could you just chew the scenery a bit more? That's great. Just more.
He's amazing.
We need you to be more. So he was my favorite part of that, actually. I think that movie. Are you into Dragon Ball Z? I am not, but you.
I was when I was a kiddo.
A kiddo?
Kid. When I was young,
yeah.
My brother and I would watch it, and we'd get so frustrated that an entire episode was them staring at each other and then going, "Arr!" And it's like, oh man, are you kidding?
Fighting procedural?
Yes. Yeah. My brother, brother of the bride, if that's a thing. My brother, he actually went back and watched the entire thing, and he managed to go through most episodes, fast forwarding through the staring, in about, 2 minutes?
2-3 minutes, yeah.
2-3 minutes. One of them was 10 seconds. Like, it was all staring.
That's
It
even
was
worse than Initial D.
It was incredible. I was like, you did what? He's like, yeah, I just watched 3 episodes. It's been 10 minutes. How? Well, I don't stare.
Yeah, yeah.
But I like Fruits Basket, so
Mm.
I've reread them. Does it count as them?
Yeah.
That
manga.
That manga many times. So I'm a bigger fan of manga than you are.
Yeah, I think so.
And I definitely sail the high seas. Except when I love it, then I buy it.
Mm-hmm. My favorite manga that I've read, and was able to get the complete version of, it was Nausicaa, The Valley of the Wind. Which, after reading the entire manga, the movie feels like so incomplete. It's like it just cuts off. And yeah, because the movie only covers like the first 2 volumes of it, and it's like 7 or 8 volumes. But yeah, and it was written and drawn over Miyazaki's entire career, so you can actually like pinpoint which movies he was working on at which point in the manga, because it has a lot of similar themes. Like, oh, you must have been working on Princess Mononoke right about now. But the whole Nausicaa manga is a hell of a trip. And it ends so brutally with just this like air of absolute despair and total hope as well, which is so weird.
I'll stick to my Fruits Basket. Thanks.
Yeah, it's a heck of a trip.
It's a bit more hope.
the Nausicaa manga. But I tried to read Galaxy Express 39 manga and the Sakura Wars manga, except that one got cut off halfway through because Tokyo Pop just decided they didn't want to actually do the whole thing.
They also crashed and burned about 2000.
Yeah,
something.
They crashed and burned not long thereafter. So, don't see any Dragon Ball figures.
Good water bottle.
Yeah. Do I like anime? Yes, I like anime. I don't watch a whole lot of modern anime.
The new Fruits Basket.
It's like time. Yeah, the new Fruits Basket is the newest anime that I've watched. I watched the first 2 seasons of Attack on Titan. Because you have to, because every episode's a cliffhanger. So no choice there.
You disappeared for like a week.
Yeah.
I never heard from you.
I wouldn't surface. Had to watch Attack on Titan. But I haven't seen the last couple seasons of it. My favorite anime for series would be Galaxy Express 39. That's my most favorite. The Macross franchise in general is good. I don't like Macross 7. And Macross Delta I don't even remember. But Super Dimension Fortress Macross, Macross Plus, Macross Zero, Macross Frontier are all really good. The first one and Macross Plus, most of all. Vision of Escaflowne is another one of my favorites. What else
I loved Sailor Moon as well.
Yeah, you like Sailor Moon.
Glamazonia.
Yeah.
Glamazona, sorry.
Glamazona.
Queen.
Yes. There's Edo Rocket, which is a fun one. That's like this weird, like, takes place in the Edo period, but not. It's really bizarre. For movies, I mean, Studio Ghibli, like the height of Hayao Miyazaki and Isao Takahata's careers. It's really good, of course. Makoto Shinkai, like 5 centimeters per second, is unbelievable. And then Your Name is pretty good, but I like 5 centimeters per second even more. God, what other anime movies do I like? What are we on?
A lot.
A bunch, yeah. So, Robot Carnival, it's another old one that's good.
We watched, I don't know if it counts as anime, but we watched the Ultraman.
Oh, the Netflix Ultraman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it
both versions.
We did.
The new one and the slightly older one. The human-sized one.
It was okay.
Yeah, they're okay. The Godzilla anime is okay. The Polygon trilogy, it's okay. Singular Point is okay. There's one that is a bit on the risque side, Golden Boy, which I really enjoy. That was pretty fun. Yeah. So, what do we got? Where are we?
You're right, Glam.
Like anime, Sailor Moon, yes. Watched Dr. X a few days ago. I did research on Lionel Atwill. Knew what he did something bad, but I didn't think it was that bad. Oh yeah, Lionel Atwill was definitely something. There's a lot of cool stuff for free. Yeah. Rex, I'm in a similar boat to you with manga, but I also forced to read Man's Worst Mistake, Ultraman Kaiju Girls Galaxy Days. Okay, where does Ultraman Kaiju Girls Galaxy Days stand on the scale with Transformers Kiss players? Where's the scale there?
What in the world?
Why is every superhero movie a multiverse film now? Yes.
Money.
That's because it's money and it's ultimate nostalgia, right? Of like, how do we, oh, remember this, remember that? Well, let's pull it all together now.
It's like cheap
right?
pop.
Yeah, it's like a cheap pop in wrestling.
Oh, right.
Like, if it were up to me, first of all, I would have had Tobey Maguire in the MCU to begin with.
Yeah.
Like, Spider-Man's already there. He just shows up in the Avengers. He's in New York. But if it were up to me, after Endgame, I would have done multiverse stuff. I would have had an after-credit scene after Endgame with the birth of a mutant in the 1960s. And then you spend the whole rest of the next 10 years of the MCU with doing, like, the serious topical stories being X-Men stories, and the gonzo, wacky, like, comedy, crazy, wacky sci-fi stuff being Fantastic Four. And then in what is it, 2020, or no, 2030, whatever, of the next Endgame is everybody fighting Galactus. That would have been how I would have done that, but whatever. They're not paying me. Whatever. In the start of November, I'm watching Shanghai Express with Marlene Dietrich and Anime Wong at the local movie theater. I am hyped. I am hyped for you, Expose. I want to see that. Send me tickets. Android 18 is my favorite Dragon Ball Z character. He's laughing because I'm saying it properly.
You are.
Yeah, Canadian. My favorite part of Deadpool Wolverine was Chris Evans appearing. I'm a big Captain America fan, so that's always exciting. I thought he made a good Johnny Storm. Yeah. The fighting is the best part of Dragon Ball Z. There's actually a live-action version of Dragon Ball, the Dragon Ball The Magic Begins.
Mm-hmm.
Was that is that the same terrible one that everyone hates?
I'm not sure. You said live action, and I thought of the Sailor Moon live action, which I really enjoyed. It's really, really weird.
Sure. Have I seen Akira? Yes, I have seen Akira, but nobody understands Akira, and anybody who says they understand Akira is lying. So that's not my favorite. I also Otomo's Steam Boy as well. Seen that one. I like that one more than Akira. But my favorite anime is either Astro Boy or Space Battleship Yamato.
Good choices.
Yes, good choices. I actually liked the most recent version of Astro Boy, not the American CGI film, but the anime series from like the early 2000s. I like that for Astro Boy, and then the classic one is classic, of course. And when I was in Kyoto, I did go to the little museum there as well. Yamato, I started watching, and it keeps in fits and starts. Like, I have the whole series that is in a treasure chest somewhere buried. And I watch like a half dozen episodes, and then I just kind of like peter out. So I have to like end for the day or the week or whatever, and then other stuff happens, and I just forget to go back to it. But Yamato is on my list of things to finish watching. But Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Right, we watched that.
Yes, we watched it, and you were like, "That's good," and I was like, "I need to watch this again to understand it." And so
I didn't want to understand it.
when I was laid up with COVID, I watched the whole thing again.
I was not here.
And yeah. And it's a weird Evangelion is a weird one because I can't say that I enjoy it. Because I don't look like, oh, it's so cool. Shinji's such a cool guy. Like, no, Shinji is a very flawed character.
Teenager.
But it's a captivating series. Like I watch it. I don't necessarily enjoy it, but I do want to understand it, and I'm captivated by it. I don't list it as one of like my favorites, but it definitely piques my interest, and I want to understand it more, and I do resonate with it, as having gone through similar things in my teenage years, so on.
I think,
but never having jacked off over a comatose girl. I've never done that.
Sure as hell hope not.
So I've not done that, Shinji, you dirtbag. My primal brain thought you were talking about Battleship Potemkin. Always like Science Ninja Team Gacha Man. Sure, nothing wrong with checking out some hentai once in a while.
Just don't tell anyone.
Yeah. Some nice Yuri anime. There we go. Some yaoi if you're into that.
Moving on.
I wouldn't mind a Godzilla multiverse film. Yeah, Showa and Heisei and Millennium.
I'm not sure
and
we should encourage
Shin
them.
multiverse of
Isn't that
Godzillas.
just Godziban?
Yes. Yeah. Godziban is the multiverse Godzilla film.
And the best.
And the best. Godziban is awesome.
Where's Lito?
They're up there. Kaiju Girls has a 5-year-old girl do the deed with a grown man. That is disgusting.
Ew.
That is disgusting. Nope. Japan, you're drunk. Go home.
Moving on.
Showa era Godzilla means legendary Godzilla. Wait, what did Lionel Atwill do? Also, how incorrectly did I spell his name? No, you did good spelling his name. Lionel Atwill, the main thing that I know about him is that he would host orgies at his Hollywood estate.
Oh,
And
that guy.
when that got out, it was very scandalous. He didn't have much of a career after that. That's the main thing I know him for, as well as playing villains in Universal Monster movies.
There are certain things you don't want to look closely at. Sometimes.
Yeah, I haven't got to that part in Fay Ray's autobiography, so I don't know if I want to know if she was involved in any of them. Hollywood has always been a cesspool. Oh my god. Literally, in the case of the Garden of Allah. Yeah, it's Hollywood has always been disgusting. It's just that now we know about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Blade was the highlight of the Deadpool movie for me. Yeah, no, fair enough. He definitely he had the gravitas for sure. Channing Tatum as Gambit was funny. I don't think he makes a very good Gambit, but it was funny seeing him just because knowing the whole story behind it.
I was entertained by his changing accent. Just when I thought he had I'm like, okay, that's a decent. Okay, he's going more French this time. Okay, he's going more. What the hell was that?
Yeah. Gonna need to repeat that there.
To which, in the film, he was like,
Who's your dialect
Who's
coach?
your dialect coach?
I think what Gambit's trying to say is...
What is that, Lassie?
I looked it up. The Magic Begins is different from Evolution, the shitty one. Okay. That's Dragon Ball.
Oh, okay.
The Akira manga continued the storyline beyond the anime feature film. Cool. I prefer The Magic Begins to Dragon Ball Evolution. I think that's probably a fair assessment. My reaction to Evangelion. What the F is going on? Oh, robots.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's about right.
That's fair. I wish that I could have seen in person the Evangelion X Godzilla 4D thing at Universal Studios Osaka. I've watched the video online. But it would have been cool to actually go on the ride. Because it has, it's like Evangelions, like the Eva team versus Shin Gojira. And then Ghidorah attacks. And there's this amazing scene in it where in this ride, in the video, Ghidorah's gravity beams actually affect gravity. Like in movies, they're just like laser beams. But when he hits things in this film, it actually causes anti-gravity. So there's like these buildings that start floating up, and then the Eva units are all like bouncing across them, like parkouring across all these floating buildings. It's like such a cool scene. Nobody likes Dragon Ball Evolution. Who doesn't like hentai? Don't see any Gamera figures. No, Kaiser, do you not know the backstory? The lore of the channel? I have tried to get into Gamera, and I just can't. I don't get it. I don't understand what I don't get about it. I understand the story. It's just something about Gamera just doesn't click with me. Daimajin is my my Daiei go-to kaiju. Daimajin I love. Yokai monsters I love. Gamera, I don't know. I can't get into it. I don't know why.
I hate to do this, but which one's Gamera?
The turtle.
Turtle. Okay, yeah.
Giant turtle.
Thank you. I lose track of all the names.
Yeah. All these ooze names and Oz names. If you want a Godzilla multiverse film, just watch Monster Island Buddies World War G or Destroy All Godzillas. Yes, Monster Island Buddies is fantastic. His stuff is amazing. Wasn't Lionel Atwill a devil worshipper? I don't know, maybe. I mean, if you're having orgies, why not? Channing Tatum is a good Gambit, short term. The second you make me Gambit for a whole movie, that would be horrible. Yeah, I agree. I actually thought Taylor Kitsch at least looked the part. If you want to do like a cool Gambit who's not just like not wearing the costume, I thought he looked the part at least. He was the Gambit in the terrible Wolverine origin movie.
I didn't see it.
Well,
I'm a monster.
Okay. Asexual people don't like hentai.
That is true.
Well, fair enough, you know. Tatum looked weird as Gambit in the Deadpool movie. I still prefer Taylor Kitsch. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he's too thick. Like Gambit is like tall and thin.
Slender.
Yeah, he has a more slender musculature, whereas yeah, Channing Tatum is like buff dude bro.
He might have been a little bit less of that when he was younger.
Yeah.
To give him, I don't know.
Yeah.
That might not be true at all.
Daimajin is very underrated. Yes, I'm shocked at how many people don't really know Daimajin and how little he is in the conversation for kaiju. Because Daimajin is great because it like fuses the Jitageki historical dramas, samurai movies, and kaiju. Like, how can you not love that? That's like that's as Japanese as it gets. So Daimajin is awesome. Have you watched the MST3K episodes in Gamera? Those might make it click. Yeah, maybe. I'll have to give those a shot, I guess. Have you seen the exploitation film Maniac from 34? I don't think I have. I wish they included my favorite detail about Gambit in the comics. He carried a Glock on him 24/7. I didn't go. Gambit was one of my favorite X-Men, and I didn't know he carried a Glock.
I feel like I remember a reference to it, but it's been a long time since I watched the original ones as they were coming out, and I was young.
Oh, it was X-Men 97?
And I was usually having...
Like the original cartoon?
Yeah, the original one.
Yeah.
That wasn't in 97, that was in...
Yeah.
No, it was much earlier than that. So we watched it before we moved to...
Right, it would have to be, it was like 90, yeah, because
3, 4.
I stopped caring about X-Men in my last year of high school. Because that's when Age of Apocalypse ended. I was like, nope, that's where I'm cutting it off, right there. Because at that point, you had to like buy every single X title to understand what was going on. Like, I didn't want to do that. Yes. And the cartoon came out before that. X-Men 97 is the Disney Plus.
That's the newer
version.
one. Yeah.
I will research Satanism for a role and converted to Satan worship. God, of course he did.
Okay, well, I suppose if some
Don't
people
trust
can...
Lionel Atwill. I said that about the movies, and now I say that about the man. Don't trust Lionel Atwill. The Imagine was inspired by the story of Golem. Yeah. Open the box. When did Gambit use a Glock? Didn't Gambit also carry a retractable battle staff? Yes, that was his main weapon.
That one he did.
The staff and the playing cards were his main weapons. But he has his mutant power overall is to be the ability to convert an object's potential energy into kinetic energy, so I can do that too. There, just did it. My pin. It's easy to convert an object's potential energy into kinetic energy. It wasn't introduced until the 2000s, but essentially, if his staff breaks or he runs out of cards, he just pumps the enemy with lead. There you go. And he charges them up beforehand too.
That would explain it.
Yeah, so I didn't hear about it because I stopped reading X-Men by then. All right, I think we're caught up on the chat. Let's open some toys here. Cha! I wonder who's got a knife. Oh, and the Bates Motel sign is dead.
Oh no!
All right, turn that off.
Mortis est.
Well, that's what happens there.
Oh dear.
All right, let's.
Objectively, Lionel Atwill was an impeccable actor.
Yes, I will agree. He was a good actor, except that, like, I mean, I know him from the horror roles, so after a while, it's just like never trust Lionel Atwill. Even when he's the good guy, he's lying to you. Inspector Kroger. No, I still need it because there is. Well, you want to pop packing stuff? There you go. All right, so good lord.
Sorry.
All right, we got it. Base Motel is closed. Yeah,
Thank goodness.
All right, so the first thing that put me on this buying spree was this guy. So, King Kong. So, in the 1990s, I think around the time that, does it have a date on there? If it was around 93, that would be the 60th anniversary. Yeah, 93. So around the 60th anniversary of the original King Kong film, Sega made these claw machine plushes. And I've got a couple of them up there, right up there, that I've gotten from Buyee in before. And from all the listings I had seen, I was reasonably confident there were only 4 of them, of which I have 2. And then I saw a listing for this one that I had never seen before. And I am like, okay, gotta get it. And so I love this one. This might actually be my new favorite. Because my previous favorite was the one that actually is like right up above my head, right up there, where he's holding He's holding a building. He's holding a skyscraper in his arm. Yeah, bring him down. Let's pull him up.
I'm afraid I'll make everybody
So
fall.
it's this guy, where he's carrying a building in his arms. This was my favorite, but now this one, he's actually holding a little plane on there, and I had no idea this one existed until I saw that listing. I'm like, okay, must have it, because if I've never seen it before, then the chances of me seeing it again are going to be pretty slim. So now I know there are at least 5 of them, of which I now have 3. So I just have to get the other 2 now. So there we go. Monkey, yes. My theory for Daimajin is that the majority of samurai fans aren't into Showa kaiju. The retro kaiju fans aren't into the black and white samurai movies. That would make sense.
That's good.
Is that it's a crossover of 2 things that the fans of each of those things don't like. But, I mean, I like them both. I like Showa kaiju. I like Showa Jitageki. So, whatever. I can't name one of Light Atlas' performances that I didn't like. He's so cute. He's adorable. I like the toy plane. He looks like a dog toy.
He totally
Kind of.
does.
We're not giving him to Sage.
Oh, we will.
Sage is our dog-in-law. Yes, I love that. I love that he's got this little plane. The other one that I have was up there behind my hat. Is he's got a ball and chain on his foot, which is like I just got it because it was cheap and it was available. And I wanted to get the whole set eventually. But I'm not as big a fan of that one because it's just like a ball and chain and it doesn't have anything to do with the movie.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 that I don't have, one is holding a palm tree in his hand, which I think is very cute, and the other one has the wrist shackles. So it's like from the movie. But yeah, I love this one. He's got a little plane. That's awesome. Kong meets Kong. All right. So that's the first one. So here, you can hold on. And
Oops,
then
the wrong way.
those are all packed nicely. What else do we got here? Oh my gosh, those are hefty. Okay. Yeah, we'll get this one out of the way. So this one is a compact disc. Children, compact discs are things that we had in the 1990s and early 2000s that you played music on. And
recorded music's on the compact disc.
Yes, on the compact discs. It's kind of like an MP3, but it's all on a disc. And this particular one is a concept album of a soundtrack for Night on the Galactic Railroad by Joe Hisaishi. So, the guy who does all the music for Studio Ghibli. And, yeah, he just did this, like, concept album soundtrack for the book Night on the Galactic Railroad by Kenji Miyazawa, which is my favorite Japanese book. That's another anime movie. It's the one, like, the train that flies through space with the cats on it. That is Night on the Galactic Railroad. And, yeah, this was up, and it was, like, $10. And I needed to, get I wanted to fill out my order, so it was worth it to buy to get stuff shipped from Japan. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to get this because it's my favorite Japanese book, one of my favorite books, period. And I do enjoy the movie, and I love the that whole idea of the steam train flying through space. It's also why Galaxy Express 39 is my favorite anime. And it's hard to talk seriously about stuff. You're doing that. And just it has this melancholy tone and this like deep this really deep and profound thing about the human condition, okay?
Sorry.
What does it mean to be human and the meaning of death and all that sort of stuff. And so anyways, so yeah, I thought I'll get the album. If we do go to Japan, whether it's this year or in the next couple years or whatever, I would very much like to go to Hanamaki, which is where Kenji Miyazawa was from. It's just a little itty bitty town in northern Japan, which he never really left. He was like, briefly he left Hanamaki, but then he came back and he died at like age 33. So it's like it would be lovely to visit where he is from, and see those places that inspired him to write what he wrote. Which Night on the Galactic Railroad is the most famous one, but also like a whole bunch of short stories. Restaurant of Many Orders, Matasaburo of the Wind, Osbel and the Elephant, like a whole bunch of stories and poems and things. And anyways, so there we go. That's that. Nobody cares about that. I did a actually for an anime convention. I did a whole panel on Kenji Miyazawa in anime, and 2 people showed up. So it's like, yep, doesn't involve schoolgirls or whatever, so nobody cares. Why is someone made a movie about King Kong's childhood? Well, now in my head canon, I do know that before the 1933 movie, 1933 King Kong fought 1933 Scar King to become King of Skull Island. That's my head canon now. That is now my head canon. King Kong the early years.
Back up.
Yeah.
Over here.
Ooh, claw machines. I was once told by a therapist I have an addiction to claw machines similar to someone who is addicted to poker or blackjack. Well, yeah. don't get addicted to them.
Careful.
If you're good at them, though, then there you go. My only real experience with a claw machine is this one time I was in West Edmonton Mall, which at the time was like the largest mall in the world. And there was a claw machine that had these really cute, cartoony, black and white versions of Disney characters. And I wanted the black and white Mickey. And I knew I wasn't going to win it, so I just asked the owner, like, how much can I buy it for? It's like $10. Like, okay, sold. I bought it for $10. So I don't have it anymore.
Oh
but,
yeah, no, he was the one you sold.
Yeah, I sold him off. Yeah. I think I sold him for more than I actually bought it for to begin with. So I made a little profit off of that one. Have you seen Roar of the Dragon from 1932? Mira C. Cooper did the story. I have not seen it. I also don't know if Bride of Monster Kid knows this, but I do have a gecko, and it has great taste. Yes. Remember the gecko discussion? From no, you weren't at the last
I
live
wasn't
stream.
at the last one.
You weren't in the last live stream.
I don't know what I was doing. Sorry.
I know what a CD is. Like cassette tapes and old Disney records. Long live physical media.
Long live physical media.
Always own physical media if you can.
Mm-hmm.
I know what a compact disc is. I don't know why people use them and not wax cylinders. Totally made by Edison, right?
Well, totally made by Edison and invented by him too. Always, never forget.
Also, are you telling me there was a movie that involves both trains and cats? Yes, Rex, Night on the Galactic Railroad. Look it up. It involves trains flying through space with cats on them. Did you ever see King Kong vs. Godzilla, where they replaced Akira Ifukube's score with music from Creature from Black Lagoon? Yes, that's the American dub version of it, which until I got the Criterion box set was the only version I had seen. Yeah, American dub. Backstory for King Kong, that would be interesting. Claw machines are rigged, so you'll always fail. Usually fail. Yeah. All right, next up. What do we got here? All right, so next up thing is that I finally took the plunge, because I found somebody selling them for super cheap, took the plunge on the Konami blind box figures for King Kong. So, let's...
I need to get you like a cool or pretty opener.
So these are some... Oh, shoot. Did something just go flying out? Yes, something went flying off into your dress or onto the floor.
Let me slowly get up.
What went flying?
Do we need a light?
It's not that. We might. Or we can find it later. Just don't step on it. Oh, there it is. Found it.
Good thing I was playing with that drawer with my
His other foot. That's what. So, oh, that looks like that is actually broken.
Uh-oh.
Might have to glue that in. Or is that on purpose? No, that's on purpose.
Looks like on purpose.
It was actually sculpted that way. Yeah, okay.
Show us what it is.
Yes. He's missing a hand as well.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, it's this hand. Okay,
Not
good.
Missing.
Good.
Just...
All right, sorry. Oh my god, this is the, like, what's in the box? But yes, the Konami Kong figures. So these are the blind box figures. And I actually managed to find all but one of them for super cheap. So there he is. And we got to get him on the...
top of the tower?
On the tower here. The pinnacle of the Empire State Building. Is this the right foot for that? Yes. Get in there. And you get in there. And there we go. We've got Kong atop the Empire State Building.
Can they see him?
Et voila. There we go. Sorry. So, yeah. Of course, the camera's not
trying to focus on you.
Focused on that, but yeah. Yes, so one of the Konami blind box figures here. I did get this Kong and then all the dinosaurs as well. And I'm actually impressed by how hefty they are. I thought these were going to be like little itty bitty things. Like the was it Kodansha or whatever, the bottle cap figure. I thought they were going to be about that size. But here we go. T-Rex. Oh, the T-Rex, which is like perfection. In fact, I got 2 T-Rexes. There were 2 of them in this box. In this bin here.
Oh no, he's missing his tail.
Oh, let's give him a tail then.
He's a whale of a tail.
He's got a whale of a tail to tell you, lad.
Whale of a tail.
But I've only got 1 base. I've got 2 T-Rexes and 1 base. But that's fine. The base is kind of molded with the T-Rex feet there. But
footprints.
But yeah, I love how hefty these are. Again, I was worried they were just going to be like little itty bitty things, which is why I was like, there's no way I'm paying like $20 for one of these. But yeah, this is nice. I like this a whole lot. And yeah, like I've mentioned this before, that I'm at this point where it's like I want more than just Kong. Like I've got all these Kong figures over and over again. I've got all these King Kong figures. I want figures of like dinosaurs and stuff. And yeah, I've got like the X Plus. Oh, it's behind the thing. I've got the X Plus T-Rex, which is great. But yeah, having this Kenobi one is great. He's very nicely sculpted.
We got 2 of them.
Again, it's like this is not really focused on. There we go. So yeah, that's like and then I got the second one that doesn't have a base on there. The person lost the base. So yeah, I love that. And then the base is actually made so that it links up with the other Kong. There's another Kong figure that I didn't get in this batch.
Well, that's first before you open the next one.
Oh yeah, catch up here.
Galaxy Express
it's 3-9, which is my favorite anime.
Okay, now I put the Cat Train movie on my
boxed watch list. So let's see this movie. Perfect.
Woohoo!
I remember an anime about a train that flew through space. Yeah, there's 2 of them. And it messed me up, actually, when I found out there was 2 different ones. So it's Galaxy Express 3-9, and there's Night on the Galactic Railroad. 3-9, there's a TV series, but there's also a movie version of it. And when I first saw Night on the Galactic Railroad again as an adult, I was so confused, because I was like certain there was this scene where they go to this planet, and there's all of these like these corpses in ice, like buried in ice. And I was so confused. And then somebody's like, no, dude, that's a different movie. It's Galaxy Express 3-9. I'm like, what? How are there 2 movies about trains that fly through space? Yeah. Rex, it's too late. I already started to going to malls with the sole intent of claw machines. Also, I don't think the bride was here, but I'm a T-Rex. Oh yeah, I'm a T-Rex. My great grandpa was in King Kong. We often get typecasted. Yes, Rex is a T-Rex.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah.
Thanks for the warning.
Yeah. No, that is so racist.
What?
Just because he's a T-Rex doesn't mean he's gonna eat you.
Of course he's gonna eat me. What are you talking about?
Those are nice. I remember Rex Evans. I wouldn't mind if they recolor the T-Rex for a Guanji figure. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Well, I'm gonna keep both T-Rexes as they are, and then the other one just have a different spot on the shelf. I have quite a few Godzilla and Kong miniatures myself. Cool T-Rex. Would you buy a Miriam C. Cooper figure? Yeah, I'd buy a Miriam C. Cooper figure. That'd be great. Actually, I did see another set of blind box figures that I didn't buy were ones of Akira Kurosawa. So they had a set of like characters from Akira Kurosawa films, like different films, and then one of Akira Kurosawa himself, like as the director. So you could like set up like him directing a scene or something. I was this close to getting it. No, more like that close to getting it, but I didn't actually get that. But that's my grandpa. We're still demanding royalties from that.
Hello, Grandpa.
Well, maybe we'll send you $5, Rex. Why hasn't anyone made a figure of Guanji? There has been a figure or a model kit of a Harryhausen T-Rex / Allosaurus type thing. It's out there. I would just like Harryhausen T-Rex or Harryhausen dinosaur toy or something like that. You might find it if you Googled that. Guanji Rex reminded Joe Young. Thanks, expose. I remember a pirate ship that flew through space as well. Yes, that would be Captain Harlock. Space pirate Captain Harlock. There's also Queen Emeraldus, which she has sort of, hers looks more like a Zeppelin. I'm a vampire squid, so please don't remove my ink for your spaghetti, please. Let's call Captain Harlock. I'm not going to eat you. Humans don't taste good. They're mostly bone anyways. He was a
Good
space
to know.
pirate. All right.
Thank you for the
All
warning.
right. Next one is this guy. Got one of the Brontosaurus. Gotta put him on the base here now. Where does he go in? That's what she said. Come on, there we go. Yeah, a little rubbery, which is good, actually. You want a little bit of give for figures of this kind, because he's not fitting exactly where he needs to be. Okay, there we go. Perfection. Awesome. Love it. Oh. So there we go. Just change the camera there a bit. Hopefully that shows up. But yes, the Brontosaurus. This is my first Kong Brontosaurus figure in my collection. This is awesome. I love him. Perfect. I want to figure a cowboy on a horse lassoing and Guanji. That would be awesome. Somebody must have made a model kit of that. I would imagine. All right, and then the last one.
Feet keep coming off.
Yeah, well, don't pull them out.
Oh, I tried to fix it.
Stop fixing it. You're only making it worse.
Little less noise there. A little less noise.
This one has instructions. That's nice. So this last one is the... Oh, this one hasn't even been unbagged ever. This is like the bag straight out of the box. This is the pterodactyl. Here. And this one actually is kind of funky, because both the pterodactyl and the T-Rex, they're actually meant to go with the other Kong figure that's in this set. So there's the one Kong figure where he's on the top of the Empire State Building. There's another one where he's in Skull Island. And you can have him fighting with the T-Rex and create a diorama that way. Or you can make him fight with the Pteranodon. Perfect. So like on the base here, a little hard to see, but there's actually like little feet for Kong to fit in here. So you can have like where he's on the cliff fighting the Pteranodon. Or you can have him just have the Pteranodon displayed however, and have him fight the T-Rex instead. So really, I need to get like 2 of the last of the Kong figure in here. So I can have one fighting the Pteranodon and one fighting the T-Rex. So what is in there? That is that little plastic peg.
Here's the other one, I think.
So he's got this little peg here.
Oh, this is his head. It's so tiny.
This peg fits into there. So that... and that goes into his butt. Oh my. Well, hello. And then he's got
pesky pterodactyls indeed.
tiny little head. And there we go.
Oh, he's spooky.
Pteranodon.
He's coming.
And then, yeah, the base can either go with... Oh, there we go. Now you can see there's the Kong feet on there for if you want to put Kong on there and have the cliff scene. Or you can just pop that on there. And then you have that whole base there. So,
pretty cool.
Yeah. So there we go. Yeah, we'll get that. So there's the Pteranodon. Looking pretty darn sweet. I love it. I love these. These are awesome.
They're cute.
These are actually better than I was expecting them to be. They're better and bigger, and yeah, I love them. It's awesome to have these dinosaur figures. These are great. I love this. Let me get focused here again. Yeah, I love having figures of the dinosaurs as opposed to just Kong all the time. Because Kong's great and all, but I love the movie. So to have figures of the movie is awesome.
Stop.
Nice. Move it, Grandpa.
Sit down, Grandpa.
Sit down, Grandpa.
Sit. Stay.
All right, so dinosaurs everywhere. That's awesome. So where are we? Cowboy lasting horse. My great grandpa was a squid from 20,000 Down to the Sea. We're still trying to sue Jules Verne's estate for trademark infringement on our family. Yeah. Cool Brontosaurus, love it. Is it a Brontosaurus or an Apatosaurus? I'm a literal dinosaur, but you humans change your names so much. Brontosaurus. Brontosaurus is a valid genus again. So for a while, they thought like because there's Apatosaurus was named first, and then they named Brontosaurus, and they thought, oh, no, Brontosaurus isn't distinct enough to be a separate genus from Apatosaurus. So because Apatosaurus was first, they just folded Brontosaurus into Apatosaurus. But then somebody went back in like the last like 10 years and re-examined it, and no, Brontosaurus is distinct enough to be a separate genus. So Brontosaurus is back, baby. Woo! You need to glue them together so you don't lose any of the pieces. Yeah. My great-grandpa fought in World War I with the pterodactyl. Those pesky pterodactyls. Mine fought against the crabs. If I were to remake King Kong, I'd have them bring a bunch of other dinosaurs to New York as well, so we'd have a more city destruction. That would be a lot better than not having any dinosaurs at all, like some remakes. Giant Squid once sank a US sub. Look it up.
I can believe it.
So like a Rampage, like King Kong combined with the Lost World 1925, yeah. I don't think we need any more remakes of King Kong. Yeah, I would agree with that, actually. We do not... King Kong is a perfect movie. We do not need more remakes of King Kong. That is why I like King Kong Escapes. And I appreciated what Skull Island was doing. Because both of them had echoes of King Kong, but they weren't just straight remakes of an already perfect film, right? So I do appreciate that. Okay. Let's see if I can take care of that little problem. Let's see, can we do that? Doesn't help me out. Well, we'll see if that person acts up anymore.
Coming for you.
Anything else here? All right. Next up is... What is this?
Magic?
What else did I buy? Oh! Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is the next thing that I bought. I'd love to see someone bring Willis O'Brien's planned movie King Kong vs. Frankenstein. That would be neat. All right, so this next thing. I'm going to put this box down here now. Okay. This one is a weird one. This is a model of Tokyo Tower, which I bought direct from the online Tokyo Tower gift shop. When I went to Japan, I did not go to Tokyo Tower. I saw it when I was taking the riverboat cruise on the Samaida River from Asakusa to Odaiba. I saw it physically, but I did not go there. So like, whatever, it's a tower. But I bought this. I also came with apparently a bag, the plastic bag from the Tokyo Tower's gift shop. There we go. And what else do they give me here?
They want you to feel like you've been there.
Yeah, apparently. I got some flyers from how about the Tokyo Tower restaurants?
Oh my.
There we go. Get some biru there. Or some bourbon. Some Jim Beam bourbon there. Centauri whiskey.
Pen.
There we go. I got some other flyers here for visiting Tokyo Tower. There's the mall in the base of it. Oh, there's the map of it, actually.
Woo.
It's like I've been there. Wow, this is neat. Oh, my receipt. Okay, so why did I buy Tokyo Tower if I was even in Tokyo and didn't even bother going? Because it was cheap, and Tokyo Tower is like where the climax of King Kong Escapes is, right? It's where King Kong and Mechani-Kong were fighting each other. So since I've got those guys up there, my King Kong Escapes collection of my 3 Mechani-Kongs and my King Kong Escapes King Kong and Gorosaurus and the water lizard, I thought, why don't I get this model as a like a decor piece to go with it all? Because it was cheap. Like, again, like $10.
Be careful, it might be fragile.
Yeah. Careful, Corey.
It does seem very...
Careful.
Friable?
Careful. Careful. But yeah, I thought it would be a fun decor piece, right? Because collections are not just about the objects, right? The collections are also about presentation. That is the museum worker in me coming out. And a good presentation really pulls a collection together and makes it look good. So, why not get a Tokyo Tower to go with my Kong collection, my Japanese Kong collection, up there? So, There we go. Tokyo Tower. And then we have Pteranodon attacking Tokyo Tower. No! Ah!
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
No, it's good. It's good. Nice. And one thing I had actually thought about doing with my store back when I still had it, if it had taken off more, was to organize like a King Kong tour or a Godzilla tour of Tokyo. So to visit like Godzilla Day if you could, the Godzilla rides, do all the touristy stuff, visit Tokyo Tower, things like that. Unfortunately, it never actually took off. So, alas. Nobody has said anything on here in a while. Is this still on?
Looks like it.
Is this live stream still going?
You guys still there?
Is anybody still there? Say something if you're still there.
Did we die when Luna went on?
I don't know.
Ew.
Yeah.
That is creepier the more I read it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go look on my...
I'm just going to do a quick look here just to make sure that we're actually still on right now.
Yes,
Oh, yeah, it's going. Okay, good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Expose. Y'all went so quiet. Or at least it hadn't updated.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, gee, yeah, now it all comes through. That would be amazing, Queen. I might try to get a King Kong vs. Godzilla Laserdisc from Buyee now. Thanks, MPC. You're welcome. I don't think we need more remakes of King Kong. I just want more dinosaurs. If we ever get the means, I'd like to make a spiritual remake that's just dinosaurs and set in San Francisco. O'Brien's Frankenstein was created using tissue from elephants, rhinos, whales, other massive animals. Yeah. I'm annoyed in Tokyo Disney. Their version of Tower of Terror isn't called Tokyo Tower of Terror. Tokyo Tower was also used in Mothra as well. Yes. Hold on to that thought, Queen. Mothra spun her cocoon in Tokyo Tower. Yep. Twice, Showa and Heisei. Maybe make King Kong from the dinosaur's perspective. Wonder if the sacrifice is like loud neighbors for the dinosaurs. Why was there a cross in Mothra? Did Christ ever visit Infant Island? Don't think it's a Christian cross. Yes, it's going. What's your favorite natural history museum? Hi, it's going. Well, would explain the missing decade of... Yes, Jesus went to Infant Island. My favorite natural history museum, I think... it depends. Okay. If you're asking me my favorite modern museum of natural history, I would have to say the Royal Trail Museum of Paleontology in Drumheller, Alberta, Canada, which is like an hour and a half from where I live, which is great. I think it is absolutely exquisite. I think it is the best paleontology museum I've ever been to, for sure. Definitely on top of the pile. But if you want to ask me like aesthetically and historically, my favorite natural history museum, I would have to say it was the Museum of Paleontology and Comparative Anatomy in Paris, France.
That was pretty amazing.
Because it is like 19th century French museum. Just this beautiful 19th century Victorian museum hall, just packed to the gills with dinosaurs. And the top floor is dinosaurs, paleontology. The lower floor is anatomy, so it's all skeletons of like modern animals, including like the rhinoceros of Versailles, like the rhinoceros that was executed during the French Revolution
with an axe.
Yeah,
and you can see the axe hole, like
the axe injuries.
In his horn.
Yeah,
Incredible.
They also have the ear of Consul the chimpanzee, who was like a celebrity chimpanzee in 19th century France, and they have his ear at this museum. It's like, what?
That's very weird.
Very weird. But yeah, if we're talking like aesthetically and historically, and that old school museum presentation, then the Natural History Museum in Paris.
Was that the one where if you went where we saw the thing with Linnaeus? Like a little card written by Linnaeus?
Not Linnaeus, Cuvier.
There was also Linnaeus.
Was there Linnaeus there?
Yeah.
Oh,
there were plants. So there was this top corner, it was all this little botanical stuff. And Jardin des Plantes. Absolutely stunning with
no. It's taller than I thought it was going to be.
With irises in irises in wrought iron. We'll figure something out. Yep. And in the back I got so excited because there were handwritten labels with Cuvier and Linnaeus, and like Linnaeus was the founder of what is it called? Clitistics?
Not clitistics, but
Not clitistics.
scientific nomenclature.
There we go. Ish. So it was so cool because it was literally in his handwriting. All the different handwritings of everybody. It was mwah.
Yeah, like it's so historically significant. It's like that is Cuvier's own writing there. Like wow, that's crazy. Yeah, so cool. Rodan versus Giant Claw. Who wins? Depends which Rodan. Isn't Giant Claw like as big as a battleship? Giant Claw actually did have force field. I once wrote a King Kong remake called Sing King. It's technically a musical parody where only Kong and the dinosaurs sing. That would be awesome, Rex. A bird as big as a battleship. My favorite natural history museum is the California Academy of Sciences in San Francisco because they have Claude. Yes, Claude. Rodan has a cameo in a film called Valley of the Dragons. Seen that one? Svengoolie. Nice. Yeah, I just discovered, okay, the shelf that I have for these things, this doesn't fit. Because I think, yeah,
Base?
it's measured from the base of the tower, not the base of the base they put it on.
Well, it
So
looks like it can
now-
come out.
Yeah, we'll see about that. It's in there pretty good.
Well, here, let me see.
Well, no, we're not going to fuss
Not
with
right
it right
now.
now. So don't want to break
We
it
don't want to break it online.
So we'll see what to do about that, because that foils the entire purpose for why I bought this. So
There's still time.
we'll see.
Just wait.
We'll see how that goes. All right. And the last thing. All right. Also, thank you. I now have 4 things I want to see in Paris. Disneyland, Arc de Triomphe, the Bridge from Inception, and the Natural History Museum. You're welcome. Sing Kong. My bad. I wrote it after my first and last time drinking. I want to see Sing Kong. That would be awesome. All right. And last but not least, by any stretch of the imagination, I ended up paying more for this than I had meant to, but I got caught up in the bidding war.
Uh-oh.
I didn't pay as much as it's worth, though. I still paid only like half of what this thing is
I'm
worth.
not asking. I'm not holding you.
So,
I'm not holding you to anything.
Revoltech Mothra. Revoltech Showa Mothra. Here. So, yeah, well, they put it in upside down, but...
Maybe that's why it was cheaper.
Yeah. Revoltech Mothra. Yeah. So this has her with
So cute.
Tokyo Tower.
Is that her in the egg? Or in the...
Because of their egg, yeah. So this replicates the scene where she has just hatched from her cocoon in the original Mothra. So the larval Mothra has climbed up the Tokyo Tower,
And
knocked it over, and built its cocoon.
Right.
Built her cocoon. And then this scene is Mothra just hatching out of it. So I'm going to be careful to take this out. Because, yeah, this figure is pricey, ordinarily. I got it for not pricey, comparatively speaking. So, there we go. And her wings are articulated as well.
What?
So she can actually go in a nice little pose.
I'm terrified.
There we go. You got her little head can move. She's actually about the same size as the 5-point XL Mothra as well. So if I knew that, I would have just bought this one.
Well, then you can sell the other one.
But the other one she's fuzzy. But yeah, this one is like beautiful paint job on this. Yeah.
So nice.
Revoltech did good job on this figure. Yeah, she's so pretty.
I love Mothra. I agree. Mothra is my favorite. Godzilla always has a place in my heart.
Yeah.
But Mothra's my queen.
And then it also comes with Tokyo Tower. So I got another Tokyo Tower here.
If you don't want to use one, you can use the other
I
one.
can't use the other one because it's too big.
We will figure something
I'm
out.
not exactly sure what to do, because if I raise the shelf more, it's not going to fit the Mothra stuff. That goes on that top shelf now.
I have a theory.
All right. Now this is going to fit. Does it have a particular way it wants to fit?
Probably.
Doesn't look like there's any particular order to the...
While you do that, I'll do the Sing Kong the musical. Original design for the Eiffel Tower was going to be a guillotine. It's Godzilla and Kong are safe. Mothra looks beautiful. Thanks, Queen. Wait,
Okay.
X.
There's that. Whoa! Oh my gosh. All right. We've got the cocoon right here. There's the tower. We've got the cocoon, which goes... Where does this go into? Those two holes right there. Get...
Teeny tiny fingers?
Yeah, I just don't want to break it accidentally. It's not so much about the fingers as it is the proper amount of pressure to apply to not break it. I will fuss with that when I'm not on camera, because I have a bad track record of breaking things on camera. But there we go, that. And then we've got these little bits and bobs here to connect it. So let's see here. I think this goes around her abdomen.
So she can fly?
So that you can
it goes in here.
pop her in. Yeah.
Ah!
So we put that on there. I think that's how that goes. There we go. Oh, it actually looks really good. You can't even tell it's there. So that's nice. So that can go...
Right on top there, I believe.
well, I know for sure it goes on the cocoon. Like, it fits like right in there if you want to have her like climbing out of the cocoon.
Oh, I'm a little afraid of the cocoon not being in place.
I don't like that being not in place. What that does... Oh, that's a hinge right there. So that goes in there. I do believe. So worried about breaking this. Because this figure is not cheap.
I put it over here. So it was easier to put in.
Does that go directly in there? Or is there a slot on the side of it?
Is there a manual?
There's a slot on the side of it. Yeah, right there. So,
I hate to be that person, but...
Is there a manual?
Is there a manual?
We're doing the exact husband and wife thing. Like, honey, look at the instructions.
We could read the instructions.
No, honey, I'm fine. There we go. So that's her flying atop Tokyo Tower there.
Woo!
It's got this add a little nub here. I don't know what it's for.
Is it?
Oh, that's the plug for the cocoon. So if you're not using the cocoon, like she's not crawling out of the cocoon, then you put this little nub in here. And then that plugs it up so that
doesn't look so weird.
It doesn't look so weird. Voila. So there we go, nice. And it also has this little nameplate. If you don't know who you have, then there you go.
In case you forget, that is Mothra.
It's Mothra.
How on earth could you do that?
And then it also has this little box thing for extra parts, and this coin thing, which apparently is something Riveltech used to do for some reason, according to people that I saw online. So, fun. She's so pretty. Yeah, I like her. I mean, of course I like her. I bought it. But Mothra is actually my favorite kaiju. So if we're not counting King Kong, it's like Mothra and then Godzilla. Because Mothra is so pretty. And I really love the theme of her as this kaiju, this kami of life, death, and rebirth, done in the form of a kaiju. So she is so pretty. All right. Looks pretty cool. I like it. It's one of my favorites. Several figures myself. Nice. Unfortunately, expose. I want to. Did you see the 3 Mothra solo films? I have seen the 3 Mothra films. I thought they were cute. It was like Mothra meets Power Rangers. That was very much the impression that I got from those 3 films. I like the one where Mothra fought King Ghidorah. Yeah, well, Des Ghidorah is actually like one of my favorite versions of Ghidorah. I think he's on my list of favorite Ghidorahs. Because Ghidorah, just plain Ghidorah, is okay. He's pretty generic. Like, you can pick, like, any given Ghidorah.
It's a lot of creaking. Wait till you're off camera.
It's like any given Ghidorah is fine. So it's like weirder Ghidorahs I like. So like Void Ghidorah from the anime is my favorite because that's the first time I've ever felt like,
Heck.
yeah, like heck, like how audiences in the '60s must have felt when they saw like this alien kaiju just materialize in front of them in the '60s. Um, I felt that with Void Ghidorah when it's like they shoot Void Ghidorah and the beam just goes around him because he's bending physics and stuff. It's just like oh my god. So Void Ghidorah is my favorite. Kaiser Ghidorah, Des Ghidorah are like my next two favorites. Like super awesome. Um, Mothra was interesting because Haru Nakajima played her in the larval form. Yeah. Imagine trying to cook a Mothra egg omelet.
No.
He played all the Toho monsters, if I remember correctly. I just noticed you two are having matching shirts. Yes. Bananas. It was a lot of Kong, so one for the banana shirt. This is my like Kong shirt, my banana shirt.
And my dress.
It's true that Toho's Kong. Is it true that Toho's Kong was a recycled abominable snowman costume from movie Half Human? Yes, I believe so. The body part, yeah. The head was resculpted. Um, but the body, I believe, is the same. And then they used the Half Human costume for like test shots, so a proof of concept. So you see a few these like production photos of like King of Godzilla versus the abominable snowman from Half Human. That was all like short proof of concept. No figures of the Shobijin, not at this scale. There ain't. But I do have the Shobijin figures from the 5.XL Mothra. As for me, it's Gigan, Anguirus, Gorosaurus, my great uncle, and then Godzilla. Yeah, fair enough. The Mothra films were definitely geared towards kids. Yes. Yeah. In mid-October, I'm going to Mexico, and I will hike in the jungle, so I will post about it. I'm also making a video about the lost Universal horror film, The Cat Creeps. So there's my shameless promotion. All right, I will keep an eye out for that expose. Made a grammar error. That's all right. Expose, is that your YouTube handle as well? So I can just look for that on YouTube. Love your matches. Yours, thank you. Can I put a link to your channel? Yeah, go for it. How Human is barely remembered today. Yeah, my understanding is that there's a bit of controversy because of how it represents uh, the what are their names? The back of something or other. Yeah, I can't remember their names, but they're like they're people who basically um, were the lowest part of the caste system in like feudal Japan, and so their people dealt with like bodies and stuff like that.
Oh.
And so they left the cities and formed this like ethnic group out in the countryside. And in like in Half Human, they're kind of represented like creepy hillbillies kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
What were they called? That's gonna bother me.
Yeah, geez.
I think it starts with an N, actually.
Well, you know what? There's an easy way to figure it out.
Oh, that's gonna bother
I'm
me.
on the internet. Might as well look it up. All right. Half Human, 1955. Da, 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 da. Uh, um, sorry. Oh, Burakumin. The Burakumin.
Burakumin.
Yeah.
Buraku.
Burakumin. Or Hamlet Village People. That's what they're called. That's what their name means. Yeah, pre-Meiji feudal class, which were associated with defilement, such as executioners, undertakers, slaughterhouse workers, butchers, and tanners.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The term encompasses both the historical Eta and the hidden outcasts.
Those were the words I was looking for.
Yeah. During Japan's feudal era, these occupations acquired a hereditary status of oppression and became an unofficial class of the Tokugawa class system under the Edo period. After the feudal system was abolished, the term Barakumin came into use to refer to the former caste members and their descendants who continued to experience stigmatization and discrimination. Yeah, so it doesn't represent the Barakumin very sympathetically. So that is a bit controversial today. Chauvinism figures at that scale would be atoms. Yes. Sadly, Half Human was heavily edited and butchered when it was shown in the US. Yeah. Most of the English dub of Half Human has John Carradine narrating most of the story for some reason. I've not seen the English dub version of it. I have just seen the Japanese version, which I may happen to have on a
The high seas.
in a treasure chest somewhere. Yes. Well, hi, creature. I'm glad you made it, anyways. So we just wrapped up the unboxing part, but we've been having a good time chatting about stuff. But the unboxing was Mothra, the Reveltech Mothra figure, who I love, which is great. I do not regret what I spent on this, which again was not even half of what it actually goes for on like eBay. We've got some King Kong dinosaurs here from the Konami blind box figures. We've got another T-Rex going across there. That's Rex's grandfather, actually, and Kong himself.
I make all these weird noises.
And the Brontosaurus there, and that's not that.
I know.
And this Kong plush here. CD of Night on the Galactic Railroad by Joe Hisashi. And a Tokyo Tower model that doesn't fit on the shelf that I wanted to put it on. So to go with my Kong stuff, my Japanese Kong stuff. That was the overall unboxing thing of stuff that I got from Buyee here. So it's fine.
And I'm Bride.
Oh yes, Otaku. This is the Bride of Monster Kid, right here. Toe took a loss on Half Human. It was a financial flop. Yeah, Mothra looks outstanding. Yes, nice. Thank you. Oh crap. Too busy at work to show up on time. Haha. Oh, hi, Doug. You guys are good evening all. Hi, Doug. Welcome. Did you just... Hopefully you saw me just go through the overview of what I what I got from Buyee here. Don't mind showing it again if need be. But yeah. So a productive thing, and I'm going to try to not buy as much off of Buyee because I am reaching the end of my summer job. Yes. Still have a few $1,000s worth of programs to do, but that money then has to make me through till next summer. So I shouldn't buy too much stuff. Go too hog wild on Buyee. But yeah, I got a little carried away. Her eyes are so glassy. Look at those. I did get a little carried away with the bidding war for Mothra here, but I got her for again like less than half of what she goes for on eBay. So I consider that
a win.
Well done on my part. As a kid, you find figures for the Tokyo Tower. Yeah, I've seen neither versions. My neighbor's a Yeti, and he claims it was bizarre propaganda. I'll watch again in the morning. Thanks. Yeah, no worries. King Kong and Mecha Kong. Yeah, well, I mean, I have the small Raymond Toys Mechanicon up there, and the big Raymond King Kong Escapes King Kong, which is actually bigger than this thing is.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I want to see Mothra's eyes again. May I?
Yeah. Might have to raise that shelf one more, but then it's too big for the... It'll be too small for... Oh, no, I might be able to do it. The shelf will just fit in there. Just barely, but...
They are like a glassy...
Yeah.
I don't know if they've done like a clear plastic layer there over top of some kind of...
Yeah, this Mothra figure is so pretty. Let's...
Yeah, it's trying to focus on me. Don't do that. Mothra's
there we
here.
Go. Yeah. Yeah, she's... I'm really happy with this, actually. I did have a little bit of buyer's remorse when I won the auction. I'm like, oh, geez. I'm not going to start a Mothra collection, am I? But I'm really pleased. She is so pretty. This is going to be like my one big Mothra figure.
And you can barely see the... They got a little harness almost right here.
Yeah, so that she can
just in between
tap into the tower there.
And you can barely see it on her back.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's such a good figure.
Glittery. She should be good friends with Beetle.
Yeah.
He's got glittery eyes too.
Yeah. Yeah, this is so good. I'm glad I got this. Nice. Then there's space here to, yeah, good little Mothra. Oh, we're like,
whoa,
totally, yeah, there we go. She has a little sign as well to go with the thing there, so you know that she's her. The Robotech figures, I mean, the photos I've seen are really good. They have a Nautilus from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea as well, but it is a lot pricier. It's even a lot pricier than Mothra was. So I probably won't ever get that one.
Maybe give it a moment.
Yeah. I'd buy more from Buyee, but mainly buy DVDs, which are always region coded. Yeah. I've actually been tempted to pick up either like a Japanese Blu-ray player or at least a region-free one, so I can buy like the Japanese Blu-rays of
That's
stuff that I can't get here.
the exact reason you bought a Sega Saturn.
Well, I bought the Sega Saturn so I could play Sakura Wars.
Yeah.
Because Sakura Wars never came out in North America.
Does it play DVDs? I mean CDs and DVDs? Or is that a newer thing? Sorry, I'll ask you a million questions while you're drinking.
CDs, yes. DVDs, no. No, but it does play digital, not the old video discs. The pre-DVD. Yeah, like the
laser discs?
No, like video CDs, VCDs. There we go.
Ah,
Plays
yeah,
the
yeah,
VCD
those.
discs. Yeah, because it's from the early '90s, so DVDs weren't a thing yet, but video discs, video CDs were. Yeah. Terrified of moss except for Mothra. Oh, fair enough. Trying to get Waterloo for 1970, but so hard to get in 7 Seas where I live. Yeah. Just saw Funko oversized Godzilla versus Mothra from the Showa era, and the figs are great. Can't pull the trigger on the US 60 Amazon price, though. Yeah, fair enough. My advice on where to start buying model kits, particularly based on dinosaurs. I want to judge the inaccurate portrayals of my people. I mean, I just look for local model stores. That'd be my recommendation.
They have random things in those.
Yeah, like we have a couple good model stores in my city. But then because I ran a store for a while myself, I actually have a wholesale account for Canada for model kits. So like my Kong down there, my Aurora Kong, that one I bought like wholesale price, which is good because they're expensive otherwise. No, I didn't. Not the Kong. I bought that one full price at the store. My Forgotten Prisoner.
Yes,
He was wholesale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Highly recommend a region-free DVD player. Yeah. Ever heard doing a video on Hideo? Yeah, where'd you go? Hideo Yamamoto. He was such a good actor. He was in so many Toho movies. I might get around to doing that, like profiles of actors and stuff like that.
Which one was he again? Oh, wait, never mind. Don't answer that question because they all played so many different parts.
Yeah, most of it is like, honestly, watching Toho movies, the Showa era, it's just like, oh, it's that guy again. Oh, it's that guy.
Oh, he's back.
It's that dude. Yeah.
Yep.
Wish they played laser discs. Yeah. When my family went to London, I was tempted to get a complete set of the Hammer Dracula movies, but it was region coded, so I didn't. Yeah. What's my favorite Toho film?
Ooh.
My favorite Toho film of all Toho films would have to be the original Gojira. If we're talking Showa era, specifically, well, I mean, really, it's a rundown of my favorite kaiju films, right? So, be Gojira, it would be King Kong Escapes, Atragon, Space Amoeba, Dogora more so than Space Amoeba, Invasion of Astro Monster, Destroy All Monsters. That's just a rundown of Showa kaiju films. And then, like, you think Kurosawa films, I mean, Seven Samurai, of course. No, Rashomon's Dai film. I don't remember if Ugetsu was a Toho film or not. Can't remember. But, no, I mean, Seven Samurai. It's the most, like, pedestrian choices. Like, yes, my favorite Toho films are Gojira and Seven Samurai. Like, okay. Oh, is your favorite Hollywood movie Citizen Kane as well? Forgotten Prisoner was an Aurora character, yeah. Yamamoto played Doctor Who. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Doctor Who. So the King Kong Escapes, the mad scientist with the terrible teeth.
With the terrible teeth. Does he have the amazing cape?
Yes.
The shiny cape?
Yep.
Oh my god, yes. Yep. That would be kind of a cool one to follow.
And he also plays a gangster thug in, like a goon in
the
Dogora.
Guns, yeah.
I got an Aurora Kong model and Godzilla back in mid-70s, so they are long gone to dust, alas. Yeah.
Aw.
My Kong doesn't tire. I knew you would say Dogura, yeah. I like, because I like, I like Godzilla fine. Godzilla's great. But then it's like, you keep doing kaiju after kaiju after kaiju that are based on like dinosaurs, right? Dinosaur form kaiju. So like Anguirus and Rodan and Titanosaurus and Gorosaurus and whatever and Baragon. And after a while, it's like, okay, so I like the more creative ones. So like Dogura is a giant space jellyfish, which is awesome. Um, uh, Gazora in Space Amoeba, the giant cuttlefish, he's awesome, tentacled monster. King Caesar is a great design as well. Hedorah is awesome. So any like the stranger kaiju, I tend to like more than like the dinosaur type ones because Godzilla is already like the perfect dinosaur type. So you don't, other ones are just kind of derivative. And then of course Mothra, it's a giant moth, um, is awesome as well. Did you ever see Star Crash? The one that was made in Italy. I feel like I might have seen that one. If I did, it would be the Mystery Science Theater 3000 version. I feel like I might have seen that one. I'm going to a Godzilla festival on Saturday. They're going to have one of the few actresses who is in multiple movies as the same character. The lady who played Miki Sagusa, I don't know how to spell her name. I would assume that was like Heisei series then. Star Crash was a Star Wars knockoff. Ebera, the massive crab monster too. Yeah, Ebera. Kumanga as well. In fact, I saw that there's that one company that's doing those like their magazines, and they include a 1/700 scale model of the kaiju, which is actually like the perfect size because 1/700 scale is the scale that military modeling in Japan is. So it's like the battleship models and stuff like that, which is the scale that I used for to go with the Mezco 5.XL. I just saw that their last bunch of issues have Kumanga as one of the monsters, and it actually scales pretty well with the Mezco figures. So I was thinking that's the giant black and yellow spider. Yeah, why would you want to get the spider, Gore? Because Mezco didn't make it. Because Mezco didn't make Kumanga, they didn't make Manda, they didn't make Kamakarus.
The others I could see.
They didn't make
Why
Varan.
the spider? Why? We don't need spiders.
Because it's something different. It's different from just the dinosaur types.
Fine.
The Dracula accessory kit that NECA put out includes this. It's supposed to be a giant spider to go with Dracula, but it's like the same size as the spiders we get in our house. So I am forbidden from putting it out. It has to stay in the coffin. Most of the kaiju were played by dinosaurs. The Pteranodon who played Rodan was rather humble. Naturally. Mm-hmm. Christopher Plummer was in Star Crash. He didn't win the Oscars, though. David Hasselhoff. Yeah. How would you think if Kong fought West dragons, wyverns, aside from dinosaurs and other prehistoric creatures? Yeah, I mean, okay. Because, like, the thing with Kong is that he himself is not an authentic prehistoric animal. He's a giant hominid ape thing. So as long as you build a cohesive enough world and you plunk Kong into it, it should, in theory, work. So in the movie, it's like Skull Island is the Lost World. Skull Island is an island, has dinosaurs all over it. It's the Lost World. And then they plunk Kong into it. So if you want to do one where it's an island of fantasy creatures, dragons and wyverns and unicorns and whatever, and you plunk Kong into that, as long as you design him to kind of fit into that, I don't see why it wouldn't work.
He with sparkles in his hair?
Could be. Yeah.
How do you suggest you would do that?
I don't know. I don't know. Just something that's give him a bit more of a Dungeons and Dragons treatment.
Okay.
Yeah. Not necessarily mean armor or anything, but like, just so that he looks like he fits into like a Dungeons and Dragons setting, as opposed to like fighting dinosaurs setting. It could work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could work.
Anytime somebody mentions pterodactyls, though, or anything like that, it makes me think of that movie Adele Blanc-Sec.
Oh yeah, Extraordinary Adventures of Adele Blanc-Sec. Yeah.
Because she rides one. That's
Rides
like
a pterodactyl.
amazing.
Yeah, which wouldn't be possible, but she'd be too heavy.
There would be a lot of reasons why a lot of things in that aren't
Well,
possible.
granted,
So, you know.
granted, but that's where I draw the line. Is the physics. If you've never seen The Extraordinary Adventures of Adele Blanc-Sec, it is a fantastic movie. Highly recommend.
Takes part of it is filmed in the room that we were talking about in France, in that museum.
Yeah.
You can see the rhino in the background.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they do a pretty okay job of hiding the modern parts.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a pretty fun movie.
Good costumes.
It's by Luc Besson as well. So the dude that did like Lucy and
Didn't he do
The Professional,
Fifth Element?
Leon the Professional, Fifth Element. Yeah, it's by that guy. But it was just never released over here on this side of the Atlantic because it is such a French movie. It is so French that I guess they figured it wouldn't fly over here. And it's also based on a French comic that was popular in France but never released over here until like a couple years after the movie came out.
Wouldn't it have gone into like the francophone communities?
Kind of, but I don't know.
Just wondering.
But it's a great movie if you're into like it takes place in 1912, and if you're into sort of that Victorian science fiction, steampunk, whatever kind of stuff, it's a great movie. Highly recommend it.
Well-made costumes.
Real women costumes. Yep.
And pterodactyls.
My local theater every mid-December plays White Christmas at the theater, so that's also really cool. Yeah. Has very old 1920s movie organ that still works.
Ooh.
With a mini concert before the show. Nice. Aurora never made a figure of tarantula, missed opportunity. But they did do giant insect model kits. There's like a giant, giant spider, giant praying mantis, maybe a giant dragonfly. But they did like these giant monster scene ones, these giant insect model kits. My town has tons of awesome movie theaters. That's awesome. If you were to make a King Kong movie that isn't necessarily crossover, so no Goji, what would you do? Ooh. If I was going to make a King Kong movie.
With no Goji.
Yeah, not a crossover movie. So, well, I guess it can't be my prequel of 1933 King Kong versus 1933 Scar King.
It better be a... Why not? He's not a Goji.
I want someone to make that stop motion short on YouTube. Somebody who's not me. Somebody who can actually do it. I want them to make that.
It has to be a period piece. Please, I need costumes.
If I was going to do a Kong movie, it wasn't a crossover. I mean, you're kind of just asking, like, make a movie with a giant gorilla in it. I mean, my inclination would be to do like a prequel movie, right? So, like a prequel to 1933 film would be my inclination. The fun one would be versus Scar King, but anything that would be like sort of like the history of Skull Island doesn't have to be through the eyes of like European explorers. That's a downfall of a lot of stuff I've seen where they try and do a prequel. It's like, oh, some pirates made it to the island, or some other explorers made it to the island before Carl Denham did. And that's not necessary. You can have a story revolve around the islanders on Skull Island. There's no reason why you can't do that. And flesh out that culture more. And flesh out why they do what they do. And like, what is the purpose of the sacrifices? What is the purpose of the wall? Which I think is actually keep out the dinosaurs. Because King Kong could, well, he did break through it, and he could easily climb it, I'm sure.
Opposable thumbs.
Yeah. So to explore those aspects of Skull Island and like the ancient culture that built the wall and all that sort of stuff, I think would be the most interest to me for a Kong movie if I were to make one. That's, where are we at here? There we go. Kong. Why was a giant gorilla in a prehistoric island? Gorillas are from Africa. Well, I mean, one could argue, it was like a super giant Gigantopithecus, except Gigantopithecus was a giant orangutan. So, yeah.
Totally unrelated.
I grew up with the Adele Blanc-Sec comic. Cool.
Woo!
Part of My Lost World, Monster Hunter inspired adult anime King Kong series. Sure. If there was a Son of Kong, where was Mrs. Kong? Well, that's the thing, right? Like, Son of Kong. So we know there are at least two Kongs on Skull Island, right? There's King Kong and Son of Kong, Kiko. And that necessarily implies the existence of a third Kong as Mrs. Kong, Queen Kong. And of course, if you just think of population, then you would need to have more Kongs to have a sustainable population. So that would imply there were plenty of Kongs on Skull Island. In fact, I am not entirely convinced that Kiko actually is the son of Kong. I don't see any necessary reason why Kiko would have to be King Kong's specific kid, his actual biological child. It's like they just came across another ape on this island.
Yeah.
And he's young, he's small, but I don't see any necessary reason why he has to be the biological child of King Kong.
Unless, of course, they reproduce by budding. Did you just die?
King Kong is a plant, apparently. Alright, that's quite a mystery, Kaiser. Didn't know. For Kong with dragons, I'd just simply say some large pterosaurs can breathe fire. It's already a giant gorilla. Scientific accuracy isn't implied. Have you watched Dead Sound? Sorry, a series I've not. Have you ever seen Rain of Fire?
Yes, I have.
I feel like I've at least seen parts of it, if not the whole movie.
I was young, and so I fell asleep in a lot of it.
But there was a series of giant arachnid attacks vignettes. Mantis, Hornet, Tarantula, Scorpion, yeah. The natural history part is essentially, as you said in your Kong video, the American Museum of Natural History come to life, with dinosaurs, prehistoric mammals, early hominids, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the American Museum of Natural History today is not the same place as it was in 1930, but if I ever went to New York and filmed like a King Kong locations video, American Museum of Natural History would be one of those locations. Because that's the thing is like, and I did say this in my video, I've said this multiple times, is that King Kong is a very New York movie. It begins and ends in New York. And then in between is Skull Island, which is the American Museum of Natural History come to life. And they'd make all of these parallels between New York and Skull Island, right? Sort of the chasms and towers of Skull Island are reflected in the chasms and towers of Manhattan. Carl Denham and King Kong both have parallels going on. The pterodactyl and the biplanes. The train and the snake are Elasmosaurus or Tanistrophes, whatever you want to call it. There's these parallels all through it. That Skull Island is just kind of like the primitive prehistoric version of New York. Or New York is the modern industrial version of Skull Island. Yeah. So it's a very New York kind of story. So I've never had this like huge interest in visiting New York for its own sake. It's like, it's a city. But as sort of like looking at it through the eyes of like a King Kong kind of thing, and filming a YouTube video about it. Not who would watch it, but whatever.
Our friends would here.
Yeah, our friends would. You guys would. Like that's kind of interesting to me.
Oh, there's places I would go in New York.
Yeah.
They usually involve theater and fabric.
Well, yeah, like Broadway and stuff, for sure.
But not King Kong on Broadway, please.
That's one of those things where it's like, it looks absolutely freaking awful. But part of me would want to do it just to say I did it. And get the plush souvenir.
You just want the plush.
As like the trophy that I survived King Kong on Broadway. Because everything else about it looks absolutely god-awful.
Okay, I can...
The monkey puppet looks amazing.
Yeah, no.
But everything else about it is just absolutely terrible.
Yep.
But to see King Kong on Broadway...
I suppose.
Like, there's a cachet to that.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of how cringe the show itself was. But, I mean, they were playing Little Shop of Horrors off-Broadway recently. So, that'd be good to see.
There are lots of things to see.
They wrapped up Phantom, though. Phantom's not playing anymore. So, alas. How did someone create a map to Skull Island? What's the backstory there? The backstory of the map of Skull Island is explained in the movie. So a canoe of Skull Islanders was blown away from the island by storms, and then they came across Captain Hellstrom's ship. So Hellstrom was the Norwegian skipper that is mentioned in King Kong, and you meet him in Son of Kong. And then Hellstrom made this map and then sold that map to Carl Denham. And so the map is based off of the accounts of this canoe that was blown off of Skull Island. That's all explained in the movie, which is pretty good, actually. They all pulled that together.
Mm-hmm. No plot holes.
No plot holes. Another mystery, Kaiser. It's not a mystery, I just explained it. I'd have Kong go underground to Pellucidar, where he'd fight psychic pterodactyls and Tarzan. Sure.
Psychic pterodactyls are terrifying sounding.
Yeah, they are. I have a very stretched headcanon where Zaroff, for the most dangerous game, went to Skull Island one time and tried to hunt, but almost got killed, so he stuck to the rest of the world. Most dangerous. Oh my god, that would be like a great comic book. Is King Kong the most dangerous game? And yeah, it's like Zaroff versus Kong. That would be a great comic if it was well written. Is King Kong a metaphor for slavery? No. I did a whole video about is King Kong racist, and it touches on that stuff, and no. Kong asexually reproduces. Buds. Kiko could have been a subspecies of King Kong. Yeah. Cool public domain mouse mug. No, this is authentic. This is the real deal. This is from Disneyland Paris right here. It is copyright branded, everything. Try not to spill my water. No, I bought this at Disneyland Paris. This one.
Most other things are knockoffs, but yeah. Not that one.
No, that is authentic. Although, yes, Steamboat Willie is public domain now, but it has to be specifically Steamboat Willie. Mickey Mouse himself is still trademarked. So, as long as Disney maintains that trademark, then Mickey Mouse is still theirs. But the actual film Steamboat Willie and any images of Mickey Mouse derived from that are public domain. Public domain is complicated, as I have learned by reading up on that case and also King Kong. Maybe Kiko was fully grown. Maybe he wasn't really an infant. He still acts a bit young, though. So, a pygmy Kong. Not sure if you've seen it, but have you seen the film Quest for Fire? I've heard of it, but I've never seen Quest for Fire. So is Kiko albino? He's not albino. He's just white. Because if he was albino, he'd have like light skin and pink eyes as well, which he doesn't. So Kiko is he's just white. He's not albino. I love Quest for Fire. Ron Perlman wore no makeup for his role in Quest for Fire. Once I have to take out the trash, okay, well, hold on, Rex. I see, thanks to Slayers, Kaiser. 1976, Kong lampshaded that similarity with NYC and the island. Jeff Bridges' Jack looks up the World Trade Center, and it twigs his memory of the spires on Skull Island. Yeah. He just did every take right after he got up in the morning. He was well cast as Neanderthal. Yeah. I love me some Ron Perlman. I think goes for Jeff Goldblum. What about Tarzan meets King Kong? That is also a comic. That comic has been made, actually. That's very practically right itself, Kaiser. Kong would capture Jane, of course. Of course. Kong would steal Jane, and Tarzan would be trying to get her back. Yeah.
And then they'd have a showdown.
Yep. But that comic has been made. I forget if it was like Dynamite or IDW or something like that. Made that comic. But
cool.
Yeah. I think it's the version of Kong they used was the King Kong of Skull Island version, like Joe DeVito's version of it. I think that's what they licensed that from to make that comic. But... Okay, is Rex back from taking out the trash yet? What's going on? We can't hold on forever, dude.
What can we discuss?
I don't know. Yeah. Jeff Bridges could just fly and shoot Kong if Kong was the Big Lebowski. I think that's how you spell it. Not quite, but close enough. I know what you meant. Big Lebowski. I think it's a W instead of a U.
Yep.
What about Professor Challenger on Skull Island? Now that would be something.
That would be cool.
Yes.
I'd like that.
The Lost World. I mean, it is the Lost World anyways. So why not?
So it would just be an extension of it where they come across Kong and the...
Pretty much.
What are they called? Inu?
The...
Oh, well, in
the MonsterVerse, they're called the Iwi.
Iwi.
Yeah. They're not, don't have a name in the movie. The real one.
Natives.
The Skull Islanders.
The Islanders.
That would be interesting, Queen. Yeah. What if Kong was on Caspak? Well, then that would be Skull Island. It's not, and I guess the whole evolution thing with like the pools would be throw a wrench in things. But yeah. Well, like Caspak itself, I mean, that was creation, right? The Willis O'Brien's project, which is like this weird island. And I mean, the Land Unknown is basically that as well. So the Land Unknown itself is essentially the Lost World remake. And everything but name. So yeah, it's one of those things where I get uncreative. It's like, what if it was on this different island? Well, that would just be Skull Island then. What if the Autobots were evil? Well, then they would be the Decepticons. Like,
Dare to be stupid.
what if Challenger and the gang were in Pellucidar? Yeah, just they're going all over the world, finding all these places with dinosaurs. Yeah, I did like what Conan Doyle started to do with the sequels to the Lost World, where it was just like Professor Challenger coming across all sorts of other weird things. So the direct sequel, The Poison Belt, is just about this like poisonous gas of ether that the Earth passes through. Then he took a break forever, did this crappy novel about spiritualism, and then did The Disintegration Machine, where Professor Challenger meets this mad scientist who has a machine that disintegrates things, basically a teleporter. Just it doesn't reconstitute you. And
It's not a teleporter.
yeah, it doesn't move you around. It can reconstitute you, but it doesn't like transport you from one place to another.
I see.
And then When the World's Great, where he finds out that the world is just basically a giant sea urchin.
Ew.
Yep. So I like that idea of like, you don't go back to Maple White Land. You just, the same characters go on different adventures, which is also reportedly what they were going to do with Carl Denham as well. So instead, like after Son of Kong, then you would have had this diminishing returns of the series of B movies, where Carl Denham goes around the world, getting all up in the grill of other things.
Obviously.
And so the main one that I've heard of was The Abominable Carl Denham, where he would have come across a Yeti in the Himalayas, which would be awesome. I would love to see that series of movies with Robert Armstrong as Carl Denham going around the world and just being a pain in the ass to a whole bunch of other cryptid animals. That'd be awesome series. That'd be great. Be a weird follow up to King Kong, but that's fine. It's better than just remaking King Kong. So
it was down there where it was highlighted.
Ah, that's good. One time I was in a Godzilla stream and somehow it got super political. I have no idea how. God, everything has to be political now.
Magic.
Yeah. Everything's got to be political now.
I'm too bored for that.
Yep. The land that time forgot was Burroughs' take on the Lost World. Yeah. Okay, now I must rest. I'm getting very tired. Okay, expose. Well, thank you for coming. Glad to have you. And hopefully we'll see you again next time we do an actual proper live stream. This is just sort of an off-the-cuff sort of thing, because thought, yeah, might as well do an unboxing with a live stream and have a bunch of people here and we can all chit-chat and whatever, as opposed to just a boring video of me unboxing things. Conan Doyle also wrote Sherlock Holmes, yes.
Yes, he did.
They should have done a case where they visit Lost World. Somebody wrote a short story, not Conan Doyle, but somebody else did a story of Sherlock Holmes going to the Lost World. Trying to remember where it is. I might even have a copy of it. I'm not sure. But there is somebody else has written that story.
I've seen images of it when I was researching double capes.
Yeah.
Because I wanted his coat.
Yeah, well, yes. Yeah. All right, I'm actually starting to get a little bit nodding off as well here. I'm back. Yay, finally, Rex. Jeez. Are we talking about the canceled Carl Denham series? I love to see him mess with Nessie. Yes, that'd be another good one, right? Carl Denham versus the Loch Ness Monster.
Ogopogo.
Well, see, Canada, our main one is Sasquatch, right? I mean, we have all these lake monsters.
True.
In fact, Canada has the highest per capita number of lake monsters in the world.
We also have the largest per capita lakes.
Yeah. But I mean, Sasquatch would be the big one. But then if you've already done him fighting Yeti in the Himalayas, then fighting Sasquatch in British Columbia doesn't really.
Just the same thing.
It's the same thing over again.
Mm-hmm.
Moriarty goes to Lost World to capture dinosaurs. Sherlock Holmes goes to stop him. Tarzan in Maple White Land. I feel like that's got to be out there too. Tarzan in the Lost World.
Basically, it just gets cold. Maple White Land.
No, it's in Brazil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's Lost World. Maple White
Right.
Land.
I'm thinking of Canada.
Oh. The Adventures of Carl Denham. Yeah. A bunch of the packing peanuts fell out of the bag, hence why I took so long. You guys had the Ogopogo. Yes. Ogopogo is our most famous lake monster. There's also Igopogo, Manapogo, Winnepogo, a bunch of pogos. There's the Thetis Lake monster, and there's 17 lake monsters across Canada, and 1 sea serpent, Cadborosaurus, as well, out in British Columbia. Not saying I believe in them, just saying we have them. That's just Tarzan the Terrible. Yeah, there was actually a show called Bigfoot and the Wild Boy. Well, technically, he was in Paludan. Yeah. Hi, Turner. Welcome. Yes, Tarzan did go to Pellucidar, so that's good enough. It's a lost world with dinosaurs in it, so that's fine. It's essentially the same thing.
Turner would like to know.
Who's that with you, dude? This is the bride of Monster Kid right here. This is my wife. Decided to join us for the chat.
Hi.
Hi. So, be my Vanna to show off the stuff that I bought. Which was an African version of Lost World. Yeah. Yeah, Lost World isn't an overly complicated thing, right? It's just a hidden land with dinosaurs. So it's like you can have that in the center of the earth, you can have that in a valley in Mexico or in Africa or whatever, Skull Island. It's all good, whatever. Specifically, the Lost World is that plateau in Brazil, but that's all sort of pretense to have a place to put it. So Sasquatch is just a Yeti without the snow and wind chill. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And we've been to Sasquatch's stomping grounds.
We have.
Yeah. Harrison Hot Springs in British Columbia is adjacent to Sasquatch Provincial Park. And they have statues of Sasquatch all over the place.
Everywhere.
And everywhere. Have you read The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen? Yes. In fact, I have the complete series. Top to bottom, although it's only really the first 2 volumes that are any good. The rest are kind of like me. Thank you. Yeah, we actually just had our 10th wedding anniversary 2 weeks ago. August 29th.
29th of August.
29th of August was our 10th anniversary. I remember a series where Joe Lara played Tarzan. He visited the prehistoric worlds and encountered dinosaurs. Oh, cool. I'm a huge sucker for Lost World stories. Yeah. A very important scientific question for my cavemen dark fantasy. How many T-Rexes to beat a mammoth, and vice versa? Well, here's the thing. T-Rex was significantly larger than a mammoth. Because a T-Rex is what, like 30, 40 feet long? And a Columbian mammoth was only a little bit bigger than an African elephant, by like a foot or 2. So, yeah. The T-Rex would probably beat a mammoth without much difficulty, I would think.
Yeah, I think so.
That's why I liked in the Nigel Marven series, Prehistoric Park, they actually put a mammoth against a juvenile Albertosaurus. So that they were about the same size.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was actually a good one. Because they know like a full-grown T-Rex is going to take out a mammoth pretty easily.
Envisioning the head of the T-Rex, and I'm like, that's just going to bite right through the main body of a mammoth.
Yeah.
They're big.
Yeah, T-Rex are huge.
Yep. The Hummers.
Would the Yeti be the Bumble from Rudolph? Yes, absolutely. He's he is. They call him the Abominable Snow Monster. That's where Bumble comes from.
Abominable.
Yeah, it's Yukon Cornelius's corruption of the term abominable. It's the Bumble Snow Monster.
Pre or post tooth removal?
Oh, good question.
It's very important distinction.
Yeah. Not dinosaurs, but how about Monster from Green Hell? I've not had a chance to see that one yet. Heard about it, but I haven't had a chance to actually watch it yet. At least not that I remember. So there was a lot that I did watch when I was at the store all day and just popped in stuff. But after a while, it just becomes background noise. So thank you, gentlemen. There was also a movie version of The Extraordinary Gentleman. It was a notorious flop. Yeah, I didn't actually see the movie because I like the comic, so I didn't see the movie.
It broke poor
Sean Connery so
Sean
bad
Connery.
he retired.
Yep.
Yep.
It was.
I know about that part.
There were about 5 different movies in it.
Mm.
I don't know why. I don't know if they had. I remember hearing they had to do a lot of like reshoots and stuff, and Sean Connery was like, "What the hell?" And that's one of the reasons.
This is the most unprofessional thing I've ever done. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah, I did not see it. Again, because I like the comic, so I didn't see the movie. Thank you for your advice. I have a plot point with some zombie mammoths. I want a piece of death, the Prince of Death, the T-Rex, to sacrifice himself, stopping the virus. You're gonna vindicate T-Rexes, right?
How many mammoths then?
Can a T-Rex take out?
Would take out a.
But if they're zombie mammoths,
could easily take them out.
If they're zombie mammoths, that makes it more complicated.
Depends on which way the zombie nest spreads.
Well, how do you kill a zombie? Well, I guess you'd bite off the head would be the only way to kill a zombie mammoth.
That would be very tricky because they don't have big, long necks.
Yeah, they're elephants, so they're.
But he's got big teeth. Am I leaning on somebody?
Scar King just fell over, which then knocked over the high Skull Island guy. Oh, well, whatever. I'll fix that later. As long as they're not falling down. Let's see here. My fauna in my series act realistic, like actual animals except for Kong, and then islands native kaiju. Mushroom Green Hell was about giant insects. Okay.
Yeah, you can watch that on your own.
My dad wants us to watch a movie together, so this is goodbye. Have a nice night. See you, Rex. Night. Say hi to your dad for me. Extraordinary Gentleman should be revived as a TV series. The closest to League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is Penny Dreadful, which, granted, is horror, so it doesn't include the science fiction characters as much. But Penny Dreadful is like the closest that I've seen to League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
It does have Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But yeah, it's that Penny Dreadful is sort of like what League of Extraordinary Gentlemen would be.
With a lot of blood. Just so you know.
Yes, Penny Dreadful has a lot of gore and it has a lot of sex in it. An unnecessary amount, as far as I'm concerned.
I had to stop watching. It was giving me nightmares. But Corey finished it. Apparently, it was pretty good.
Yeah,
the costumes were gorgeous.
The last season was kind of like, The way they wrapped up some of the stories was like, this feels like they're just writing this because these two characters are on the screen together. Thank you, the matching shirts. Thank you. I'd watch it. Yeah. You two make a nice couple. Well, thank you. Rex, enjoy Father's Day. This is cool, but sadly I have to go. I've got to donate blood in the morning. Okay. I'll see you, Turner. Good luck with the blood donation.
Red cells?
Red cells?
Blood cells. Red blood cells.
The land is essentially chaos plus kaiju, vampires, sapient rodent. It's cool. Cool. Well, since so many people are dropping, and it has been 2 hours now, I think it would be, and I'm kind of starting to get a little bit myself. So I think we might actually draw this one to a close right now. So, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us for the fun with unboxing of various things, like Mothra here. She's so pretty. I love her so much. And yeah, later this month, I have recorded my next RKO King Kong video of looking at the Dick Tracy films that RKO made. I have recorded it. I just have to actually make the video now. So hopefully I'll get that one done by the end of the month. I have a bit more time coming up. I'm not quite as busy in the latter half of the month here, so hopefully I'll be able to get that done. And then at the end of the month, we're going to do the proper live stream, focus on EC comics, Tales from the Crypt and weird fantasy and weird science and Haunt of Fear and all those sorts of things. So stay tuned for that. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Any thoughts on upcoming Jurassic World sequel? I tapped out of Jurassic World after Fallen Kingdom because I thought it was terrible. 7 p.m. where I'm at. Whew, no kidding. So long, folks. Short visit. So much fun. Thank you for coming, Doug. W, I know Kaiser Soze. I was asking if you liked the film, though. All right. So good night, everyone. Thanks for coming. And we'll see you again at the next live stream.
Thanks for
So,
having me.
so what does Kenny Omega say? Bid you adieu, goodbye, and good night, bang.